Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. And today I want to address a really important comment that I get every now and again on my videos. And it's from people who are desperate and who are suffering and who really just cannot buy into the fact that your thoughts or your mind, changing your thinking can really solve your problem, because it is a physical problem. And it's something where you have experienced a severe amount of physical damage. So in the case of people coming off pharmaceuticals or taking pharmaceuticals and having injuries from those pharmaceuticals. So that is what I want to address today. So if you're interested, give this a like, consider subscribing. And before we get into it, I just want to say that I'm not going to spend much time here talking about pharma itself or the injuries that they induce or the symptoms. So this will not be triggering for anyone, because YouTube really censors this topic. And for that, I don't spend a lot of time on this topic, but it is a topic near and dear to my heart. So we are going to be skipping anything that YouTube would perhaps want to censor as a controversial topic. And trust me, I understand and I have compassion and I know what you're going through if this is you, because I've been there myself. But we are going to focus on what happens if you believe, and I'm throwing in the word believe for YouTube, what happens if you believe that you've got some physical damage from a pharmaceutical medication that has injured your brain. The reason I say you believe is because we can't prove it, and this video is not going to attempt to do so that it can stay up and not actually be controversial. Also, I'm going to be referring to my experiences. I'm going to be careful not to give advice that could be misconstrued as medical advice on this channel. And so if you are okay with that and you still want to watch the video, then hit like, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. So first, I want to say to all of those people who leave those comments on my page, I have the utmost compassion for you. I understand what you're feeling and what you're dealing with. And when you have a severe physical brain injury or something that has affected you physically, maybe it is even something like Lyme disease, or something external has come in and changed your internal functioning, your internal working, causing damage. And the short answer is that you're right. There has something that has injured you, and my videos on thinking or changing your thinking isn't going to heal you. Okay, so that's the short answer. So that is the answer that validates what you're thinking, that validates your situation. Yes, you're right. There is more going on than you can simply not apply a mind-body healing technique or an energetic principle and solve all your problems. Yes, I agree. That is absolutely 100% true. And the reason I know this is because I couldn't access any mind-body healing techniques, whether it was the power of the mind or healing all the trauma that I had been through, feeling my emotions, changing my thoughts, let alone changing my beliefs and working with energetics. So I understand it wasn't available to me. For the first 5 years of my journey, it wasn't available in any fashion. And the way I've laid out my program is that there's 5 parts, because the truth is healing happens in stages. It happens with your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. You must heal on all the levels in order to reclaim your wholeness, to reclaim your health. All right, and when you are injured physically, when you have had a chemical assault, no matter what kind of chemical assault that you have had to the brain, or maybe you've had a viral assault, right, or a bacterial assault, you've had something from the outside change your inner cells, the functioning of your cells, the functioning of your brain, the functioning of your nervous system, the functioning of your organs. When you have had this happen and you have physical damage, you are first beginning with the body. You are first working in the physical, because there is an amount of baseline physical healing that must take place before you can look at the mind, the heart, and the soul. right? Before you can delve or even have the capacity to do work in these other areas. And that's okay, because you have to work on all of these areas. And sometimes in order, sometimes out of order for what makes sense for you, and sometimes in combination all at once, or going back and forth between body, mind, heart, and soul. But if you are physically incapable of working with emotions, thoughts, or energies, then you must start with the physical body, and we must get a baseline of healing. And the way I've laid it out in my program is that the fundamentals of health are first. The foundations of health and healing is part one of my program, and it goes through all of the elements that you must do to lay this foundation for your physical healing. And then the next part of the program is advanced healing protocols. These are advanced physical healing protocols that are extremely important when it comes to, what you can do in an advanced or a critical situation when we need to go deeper than the foundations. And so these are important, right? Because I agree, pretend you have mercury poisoning. Changing your thinking isn't going to help unless you also detox the mercury. So this is why the program is laid out the way it is. And people don't often see that when they hear my videos about talking about your thoughts and your emotions and the inner healing work that it actually takes to heal. And yes, it actually does take the inner work, even though we start with the physical. But believe me, I understand how important the foundations are and the advanced protocols for your physical body that are going to aid and help the body, because that is also an actual critical requirement to healing. And the reason I don't talk about those protocols on the site anymore, the reason I'm not focused on the physical and the diet and the protocols on this site, is because the truth and the reality is that YouTube censors alternative medical views and thoughts and opinions and protocols. And that's just not where I want to be in my life, fighting with YouTube over a video. But these protocols are important, and that is why part one of the program and part two of the program are focused on physical health and healing. But often these physical protocols are not enough to get you all the way there. They're not enough to get you more than close to 50% better. And it's because the real power of healing lies inside you, right? It is the power of your thoughts, the power of your beliefs. Every belief that you have leads to a thought, okay? You experience things in the world based on your beliefs, and you have thoughts about every experience you have. You cannot stop your thoughts. You are going to have a thought about every experience that you are having. And every thought that you're having is based on a belief that you hold deep inside of you. And every emotion that you have is coming from your thoughts, is coming from the way you are interpreting the experience that you're having. The meaning you are giving to your experience leads to these thoughts, and they are all embedded from the beliefs that you hold, right? So this is what's happening. You are giving an experience a meaning, you're having thoughts, and that is leading to unwanted emotions. And these emotions are deep, they're thick, and they seem real and tangible, but they are not. They pass. They're absolutely passing, like clouds, like weather. So emotions change like the weather, like the rain, like the clouds, right? Like a beautiful day. They are passing, they are moving, they are not solid. Emotions are not real. They're not a real state. Just because you feel angry one moment does not mean that's solid and lasting. It changes and morphs. And the thing that changes and morphs it are your thoughts. Your thoughts affect your emotions. And the emotions that you are having affect directly the experiences that you're having and the beliefs that you hold about those experiences. And that's how we get into a circular pattern, because those beliefs, again, that you are giving to the experience you're having based on your emotions are coming through in the form of thoughts. And so the reason I spend a lot of time on this on my YouTube channel is, one, because the algorithm does not censor this topic, but two, because this is where your true power lies. This is where everybody's true power lies, in their beliefs, in their thoughts, and the meanings and the interpretation that they are giving to the experiences that they're having are creating these deep beliefs. For example, if you have the belief, I am never going to heal, or I am too damaged, or this physical thing, thoughts can't change my situation, it's a physical problem, that's a belief. That's a belief, and it's got a lot of thoughts around it, right? And so that is how you are interpreting the experience you're going through, and you're giving it meaning based on that, and it is putting you into a state of fight or flight when you are living or seeing things through the lens of fear or anger or sadness. Any of these less than optimal states, they keep you in fight or flight. You cannot heal from a sympathetic dominant state. You can only heal from a parasympathetic state of the nervous system, which is coming from peace and calm, relaxation, from love, from joy, from creativity. You can only heal in this state, and you can only be in one of these two states at the same time. You can either be in parasympathetic or you can be in sympathetic. You can be in fight or flight, or you can be in relax and rest and repair, right? You cannot be in both at the same time. So you are either in one or the other. And this nervous system dysregulation, if you are having negative thoughts and negative beliefs, because you're giving a negative meaning to the experience that you are going through, you're in a circular pattern of fight or flight, sympathetic dominant, and this is a state you cannot heal from, and it is a state, a circular pattern that you cannot break. And this is where your power lies, always and every single time. Even if you have physical damage that you need to heal and you are working on the body, you can still apply these mind-body techniques to your journey as you go along before you're even ready or capable to work with specific feelings, past trauma, how to use your energy and your vibration to change the state that you're in. So before you're even able to access, right? Because when I was in that state, I couldn't even access my feelings. I couldn't access my brain to figure out how to even work with my emotions or change my mind. They were on a looping pattern. I could not get out of fight or flight. So even if you cannot access that, even if you can't access that yet, you must know and start to try to call your power back to yourself. And the only way you call your power back is through your thoughts, is through your mind, is through your thinking, and through the meaning that you are giving to the experience that you're going through. And you must be able to say, I can heal, right? Not I am too damaged to heal. You're not going to start healing until you keep telling yourself, I am not too damaged to heal. Find the truth in that. There may be truth in what you're saying, but stop looking for evidence to support the fact that you are too damaged to heal, and start looking for evidence to prove the opposite point of view. I am not too damaged to heal. You can find evidence everywhere if you are looking. You can give this another meaning. I'm not too damaged to heal because she wasn't too damaged to heal. Other people aren't too damaged to heal. I have seen thousands of success stories because I notice that when I do this, it gets a little better, or if I do this, it gets a little bit worse. There's proof that it's not always the same every second. Learning to get a hold of our mind and our thoughts and our emotions, even as we go along, if we are solely focused on the physical path of healing until we can really access our higher functioning brain enough to do the inner work, you must start to call your power back to yourself and not give it away. Not give your power to everything and everyone, right? You save me. I can't do it. This isn't possible. Stop telling yourself that. Even if you have a mountain of evidence to prove that it's true, You have to get a hold of the little piece of you inside. And you have to use that will, the little piece that's left inside of you, to stop thinking those thoughts as much as you can. To try to think the opposite, to try to find evidence for a new meaning that you could apply that you're going through. Like, isn't this going to be amazing? When I finally turn it around, I am going to have the best success story in the entire world. I know it is almost next to impossible to apply any good or positive meaning to the level of suffering that you're going through if you are at the beginning of your journey and you are truly suffering from a chemical or physical assault on your brain or your body. You are still in there. And if you weren't, you wouldn't still be watching this video. You are still in there. There is a piece of you that knows that you have enough will and you have enough power inside you to take it back, to put your stake in the ground and say, no, I am going to heal, I can heal, and I am going to find a way. And even if you have to fake that positive meaning at first, even if you have to wrestle with every thought that comes your way, this is important work. An entire part of my program centers on regulating the nervous system for this reason. You really can't properly do inner work until you are able to do it with a regulated nervous system. Because when you are in fight or flight, the only thing that the brain cares about is survival. It doesn't have time to do esoteric thinking or working with your thoughts or healing past trauma. It is in the moment trying to survive. And I get that, I understand that, and that is why regulating the nervous system is one of the most powerful parts of the program, because your ability to actually go inside and do the inner work that it actually takes to heal requires a mostly regulated nervous system, a functioning nervous system. So I am aware that if you are at the beginning of your journey or you haven't come out of fight or flight or survival mode, that you are not able to access. Oftentimes the videos that I'm posting aren't for you, but don't get discouraged. You need to come to this point at some point in your journey. And if you can apply pieces of this inner work, of this mind-body healing work that I talk about regularly on my channel, to the situation that you're in now, you will be further ahead when you get there and you can properly access it and do the work. So it is not a waste of time. It is a perfect use of your time to watch my videos no matter what stage you're in. But if you are frustrated by them and feeling angry and overwhelmed and like that couldn't possibly work, it is because you haven't done enough of the foundational work, you haven't done enough of the advanced protocols, and you have not regulated your nervous system enough to be able to access and utilize the power, the absolute power, and the transformation that inner work and all of the things that I talk about in my videos has on healing. You may not care because you're not there yet, and that's fine. You're in survival, so you need to focus on surviving. That is your job if you're in survival. But we also need to focus on getting out of survival, because you can't begin to heal until you're out of survival mode. If you are able to get out of survival at least part of the time, you're able to have more bandwidth to focus on the inner healing work that it is going to take for you to actually heal and transform. You cannot get there unless you work with your thoughts, unless you work with your emotions, and unless you work with your energy. So unless you're able to effectively go in and heal what's on the inside, work with your mind body, because it is all acting as one, you will feel like you've made a significant amount of physical progress, but you just can't get there. You're still working with a lot of patterns. You still have an immense amount of symptoms. You have good days and bad days. You can't figure out what's going on. This is where the inner work and the power of your mind and calling back that power really comes into play, where you can actually start to change your thoughts, change your limiting beliefs, right? Create new ones. By creating new beliefs, by creating new thoughts, you are going to start to feel new emotions. And when you start to feel higher emotions, are going to give your experiences different meanings. And when you apply a different meaning, you're reinforcing that new belief. And it is sending your positive circular spiral upward towards healing, upward towards growth, upward towards expansion, upward towards real, true transformation. So I hope that you have found this video helpful, because I often get comments on my page from people who are truly suffering from a physical assault on their body, brain, or mind. And they're saying, how could this possibly heal me? And they're frustrated. I can feel their anger. That is because they are stuck in a sympathetic state. It is because they can't access these concepts that I'm speaking of to make them work for them yet. The key word is yet. You will get there. Healing happens in stages. There is so many layers to healing, and it is important that we do it in the right order, but it's also important that we bring in all of it and overlap it and understand what we're healing. We are healing the physical body. We are healing our past hurts and trauma and emotions. We are healing and changing our negative beliefs and thoughts and the patterns that are happening in our mind. We are healing on a metaphysical level through energy, through the soul, through the God frequency, the God power that lies inside of you, that lies inside of each one of us. So we are healing body, mind, heart, and soul, all of it. And this is what it takes to become whole again and to actually heal yourself. And it's hard work, and nobody's coming to save you, and you are the power. And all of this is true even now, even if you are suffering beyond words. All of this is still true. It is all available to you, just as it was for me, but you cannot see it yet. So work on seeing it. Work on seeing whatever step is in front of you and take it. I really hate when I get those comments, because I know how deeply you're suffering and my heart goes out to you. But I really want you to know this, because it's important information, and it's the type of information that really could save your life and give you hope. And so I started this video by saying that the short answer is no. Will my videos on changing your thoughts, changing your thinking, heal you if you have a chemical or physical assault on your brain that needs to be fixed and healed? The answer is no, but I hope you can see that the longer, more important answer is yes. Your thinking is everything. Being able to access doing the inner work and changing your beliefs and changing your thoughts and taking your power back for yourself is how you heal. This is the journey that you're trying to get to. And even if you can't access it in the moment, you can't heal until you actually do. Doing the inner work is ending the war with yourself. And that's healing. When you end the war with yourself, you are free. So if you enjoyed this video, go watch this video. It talks a little bit about my program if you're interested in it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.